Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to show you in a video why patience is a very important factor in doing damage in World of Tanks. Stay tuned because this replay is going to be absolutely insane. So guys, I played this game yesterday and it was absolutely a banger replay. Now, as you can see, the enemy tanks are really tough on this map. Now, Westfield is known as a map with imbalanced sides. On the top side right here, the ridge lines, and they have triple Kranvagns, and we also have triple Kranvagns. And basically, the most important thing to do when you have the burst side on this map is to counter the enemy team. That those guys that are trying to pick up here on the ridgeline, it's very important to counter them. Most of the time, it's very good if you have two guys sitting, one here and one here, shooting at the other tanks in crossfire. But this time, I kind of didn't have that, so I was very worried of the outcome because I'm trying to keep 5000 DPG on this tank. And as you can see, my team is fairly set up perfectly though, to kind of counter the overpeakers here. The first crown gets spotted right here, nice shot put into his lower plate right there. And the second crown actually gets spotted, and the S-Conk of the enemy team also goes towards the one line. And it's very important to basically not lose any kind of hit points, because the enemy has double RT, you also want to dodge those, but you want to counter these Kranvagns. Why do you need to counter them? Because they are going to prey on your tanks here on the right side. And that is really crucial, guys, in case you want to win this and you want to do damage while playing this side on Westfield, because it's very imbalanced. They have much better angles on you. And basically now I'm just trying to shoot this Conqueror the second time. It unfortunately bounces the second shot right there. But as you can see, the air Kranvagn, one of them is already at half HP. That's very important now. We have to play kind of perfectly on this ridge line. And let's actually put the volume up a little bit here. Perfectly on the ridge line here, so already cannot shoot him. Now this guy peeks again, he takes a big shot, and now I take shots. I take two shots from the Conk and him, but we actually finish him off right there, and we put one more into the Conk. Now we have 1800 damage already, guys, and as you can see, the zero line is kind of going to fall this game. We only have two tanks there, and the enemy has an overmatch right there, so it's kind of obvious already at this point that we cannot really count on the zero line and cannot really count on middle coverage. Because if you take the zero line, then they're gonna take the middle as well. Now the enemy Krans have kind of ventured to the other side, and now we have shots on this Conk there, on this cupola. You can see the angle is quite good for me, and we actually do connect the first one. Always very important, guys. Once again, when you're playing an auto-loading tank, always look around what's happening around you between shots. I've told this to you many times. Keep doing that, guys. It's very important, because those Kranvagns could have actually surprised me with one shot each. 900 damage in case I didn't look back. And you can see our RTs are already going to get picked off by the enemy BR, who's already on B0. Now this is not looking actually good at all now. The Kong though, however, keeps peeking that, and we keep bouncing some unfortunate shots on his turret. We have to take him down because he provides a crossfire once again on us here from all these angles. And just to pause this video a little bit, what I was talking about on Westfield, it's very important that you have two tanks on either side, by the way. You have a tank on this side and you have a tank on this side. This guy counters this guy and this guy counters this guy. The same is true for the other side. So if you can do that in randoms and you luckily have like one guy here, then you need to go here. And if you have luckily one guy here, then you need to go here. Because if you have this kind of crossfire, if I was to pick this guy would always shoot me. If I was to pick this guy would always shoot me. You understand? So basically, it's very important to do that on Westfield in case you want to have a high damage game. And we actually pick off the second Kranvagn off there really nicely. But it's 2-6 and the HP is also already dwindling away. But we do pick up the E100, and their numbers, their heavy tank numbers are also dwindling away as the E100 gets picked up by the 277. But it's very important now that we pick off this Kranvagn pretty fast here, and we unfortunately bounce this cupola right there. It's very frequent occurrence, but we don't bounce the second one there. Also, guys, you see how I'm angling my cupola? Did you see how I was angling my cupola on the Kranvagn, guys? Always do that. Doesn't matter what kind of autoloader you're playing. It's always worth it, but especially on the Kranvagn, when you see those little cupola weak spots here, left and right, you need to basically hide them. And by angling the turret like this, now I'm not getting peaked, but if I angle the turret a little bit back, you will see that my cupolas will be absolutely invisible there. You're gonna see it in a second again. So we connect, and you see, right there I did an angle, and now this way they cannot really see my cupolas if I do it like fully. Like this, yeah, exactly. Like this. Yeah, now they have no chance of penning my turret now. Now there's nobody aiming at me, but this is just for the future, guys. Very important. A lot of people actually forget about it, and so did the enemy Kranvagens. They did not use this little trick, and they actually paid for that with the cupola shot there. Now it's very important that that in this case, when it's like kind of, you see that the enemy has full map control and their EBR is already behind us in our backs. Very important to analyze what tanks are left from the enemy team. Now you see that the WZ is kind of in there. Now he's a tier 10 Chinese TD. He is literally impossible, at least to me right there. I don't have enough penetration to dig him out of there. And it's basically impossible to kill him. But I also can't really overpick for the Kranvagn because those TDs can be aiming for this. And they have a perfect angle on us. And this guy also has an angle. So I can't really overpick for this Kran. I can overpick a little bit for like one shot when this guy kind of drives up here, because then I won't have to peek that much. But it's very important again that to look, because the enemy only has like really slow camping tanks. After the Kran dies, they only have the STB and the 140, who I'm not sure how much HP they have, but these 4 TDs are probably gonna be camping throughout the rest of the game. And it's very important to analyze, because you need to pick off the targets here fast. No, look, I checked them. I'm actually covered by the building right there. This guy turns. I see he turns. And then I pick the Kranvagn because I see that the enemy TD turns, and we put one into him, and we bounce the second one. Unfortunate bounce, and the WZ actually bounced our turret. You see, I was like keeping my turret angle towards him, and very important shot now. Very important to pick up the Kran, because now the enemy only has 2 artillery pieces left and 2 medium tanks. So I'm not sure how much HP they have once again, but they have the 4 TDs that we need to dig out. Now you can see the 140 is actually making a little excursion away from our TDs, just below the bridge there. And I'm actually going to speed this up a little bit, guys. We're already at 4.5k damage, by the way. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because there is nothing going to be happening here. And basically, what is going to happen here, guys, is I'm just waiting for the time to go down, because I cannot push any flank. Why can't I push here? Because these guys have a shot, this guy will spot me, this guy is unspottable, he's behind the bush line, or RTs are going to shoot me. And this is where the replay gets interesting. I cannot push here because the STB has complete coverage as long as he's alive, and these guys can also shoot me on the cross. Can I go down here? No, because the 140 is in the open and he will outspot me easily, and then RTs will shoot me as well. So what is the key to winning this game now? It is one word: patience. You have to be patient. I've been making a lot of mistakes lately by throwing away games where I just have to sit tightly and wait for my enemies to make the first mistake. You have to do this every single time, because otherwise, when you see this kind of impossible situation, you might just get bored. Oh my god, I don't want to play this. You know, I'm just gonna go next game. But wait until the end, because this is going to get really spicy, and I promise you don't want to miss this now. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and now I'm just running the time down. I need the enemies to make a mistake. And there you go, the 140 goes down towards the UDES, towards Frank the tank. And now, if the STB would die, that would be absolutely perfect scenario, because then all their TDs are only good at ranges, because this guy has no turret, he'll get tracked easily. The 2 guerrillas are absolutely not perfect for a hold down fight here, because I can just pick them without any kind of repercussion. I can even reload the full clip when they shoot once, and just double track them even like this. So yeah, it's very important to just run the time down and make the enemy walk into you. And the UDES gets picked up by the FETD. Fortunately, he pushed the STB right there. It was not really lucky for us. And you can see that the Arkran is exactly making the mistake that I was talking about. He is making the mistake. He is not patient enough to wait. He is going to try to spot the WZ, but even if he spots the WZ, this guy is safe. As I have mentioned, I cannot shoot him because he's safe, and I cannot pen him because I don't have the penetration to pen his superstructure in case it sticks out. I can only pen his side or his lower plate. Now, as you can see, the WZ gets spotted. He takes 1 from the Kran, but now I had 1 sliver of a tiny shot there, maybe on his cupola, but the Kranvagn's accuracy does not connect there. And now, guys, this is where the crucial point begins. What is the enemy? They have 2 RTs, they have 4 TDs, and they have the STB. Now look at our positions. They have an E4 there with 99 HP, basically a one-shot to anything, even RT. We have a Kranvagn covering there. We have the Jagdpanzer kind of spotting there in a forward position. Now I have to stay here. I have to stay here because if I don't stay here, once again, I'm going to end up the same fate as our Kran did, who pushed the WZ on the 1 line. Now, once again, a little bit sped up here, and now I'm just waiting again for the enemy team to make their first move. I'm trying to spot up occasionally using the bushes and the tree to my advantage, and just basically waiting for the enemy to make the first move and make a mistake, because it's very important to spot them first, possibly in the open, because in that case I can just overpick and do 3 shots every single time. The STB somehow gets picked up by the Jagdpanzer, and the Kranvagn, who actually moved towards the 0 line, is actually very, very good, because now the only threat to us is those 4 TDs and the artillery. Now you can see the RT is firing back and forth, but there's not much I can do about it at this moment. And I'm just waiting guys, and this is the hard part, guys. This is the hard part. Now I don't want this to become boring, that's why I sped up, but once again I'm trying to emphasize how much I waited. How much I waited here for them to make a move, and they still didn't move at all. That's very, very strange for me, because they have twice our HP. They have basically, oh, the gorilla gets spotted right there. What an interesting peek. Now we have information. I have to kind of play against the artillery on these reach lines. Now you can see the first arty missed. I'm trying to make my way up towards him to actually clip him, but his positioning does not really allow me to peek, because if I peek here on the right, then the WZ will have shots on me. This guy can overpeek and I'm basically dead. As you can see, this gorilla is not that stupid, but I have to pull back instantly because I see that the WZ started aiming at me. I couldn't even let off a shot there, because if I let off a shot there, that's a fatal mistake, and I'm taking 750 from the WZ in the worst circumstances. Now I'm going to go back to my initial position, trying to avoid RT. You always gotta move against these RTs. It's not that easy of a shot for these artillery pieces to hit, but the gorilla sticks to his position for some reason. That position means, I think, that the other gorilla is somewhat close, possibly on my left side, but possibly in front of me. So I'm just waiting for them to make their first move, and I see the gorilla, the other one gets spotted by the E4, makes his way towards him actually, and now the Jagdpanzer kills the FE, but our Kranvagn goes down towards the RT. But now I'm trying to pick this gorilla from the left side here a bit, but then I realized that I can't do that. He's aiming for me, and that's not the problem, but once again I'm just exposing too much to the WZ, and if I get shot by WZ, I'm just going to get rolled by the other gorilla. So now I'm thinking of all the potential plays I can make, and I realize that the whole side, the whole left side here is absolutely open and nobody can defend it. The gorillas cannot defend himself. The WZ cannot defend the gorilla if I pick from the left here. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do, and I actually spot the gorilla right there. Put the first shot into him, put the second one, and he really has no chance of doing anything to me. Right, nice there. 1200 damage taken off the gorilla. Already fires, misses, perfect. Now I'm going to head off to reload the second clip right there. And this is very, very good now, because the other gorilla probably is still there, or maybe he's moving to cover his teammate, but the smart play from them would be to rush me with those 2 gorillas, but the other guy just stays at the E4 for some reason and leaves his teammate completely in the open for me to pick up, and the WZ also pushes up, and as you can see, this gorilla is going to be a really, really easy pickup right there, and there you go, pick him up there. Now, this is very, very hard scenario. This is, guys, I cannot basically strive to emphasize this, but this is a very hard scenario. You have 2 TDs, you have 2 minutes, they're both full HP, and that gorilla actually gets really, really lucky timing on me running away, and I can't even actually return fire. Very, very unlucky 839 roll, which also means that I probably will be a 2-shot for artillery in case they both splash me at the same time. And this gorilla is acting very, very cocky. He shoot, but I have a huge rack to work with. Oi, oi, oi. He missed his first shot, and we actually track him there, putting my turret up once again. The little trick I explained to you, he has no chance of penning me in the turret unless he loads heat and absolutely high rolls the hell out of me, but he actually bounces. You can see the WZ makes a huge mistake. If he would have come around on the right side, I could have literally killed him. He could have literally killed me, but this way now, I'm just going to finish him off, and beautiful right there. The Jagdpanzer also very important shot, guys. He shot the WZ in the side for 1000. Very, very important. Now there's 50 seconds on the clock left to find those 2 artillery pieces, and they're actually firing straight on. And guys, do you see how much waiting 5 to 6 minutes paid off, and how much more damage we could have done that game this way? Basically, we did almost 9,000 damage, and see if you can pick up the remaining 2 artillery pieces. But do you see that the patience is key in World of Tanks? And also, well, the Kranvagn is a perfect tank for this. I mean, you have infinite gun depression, you have really good DPM, and I mean, this tank is just perfect against TDs. And the other artist shoots me, gets picked off by the Jagdpanzer as I spot him, and there you go, guys. 6 kills, 9.3 thousand damage, 2.7k blocked, and 1600 spotting. So, thank you guys for watching the video, hope you enjoyed it. If you did not know, I'm streaming every single day on twitch.tv/kajzoo. I'm gonna put that on the screen right now. So guys, if you could all go over there and follow me and create a Twitch account if you don't have one, that would be absolutely meaning the world to me. And also guys, write me in the comments, what do you think about the little things that I've explained in this video? What do you think about patience as a thing in World of Tanks? Is it hard for you guys to be patient nowadays? Is it not? Tell me why in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you soon.